Welcome back to Future Perfect Tech Shorts. Now, depending on which study is cited, e-cigarettes or vapes are touted as effective tools for tobacco users to quit their smoking habit. But the recent cases of alleged vaping-related lung injuries have cast doubt on the safety of this smoking cessation technology and prompted President Duterte to ban their use in the Philippines. In a previous episode of Future Perfect, we explored how a different type of e-cigarette that produces vapor by heating tobacco could reduce the risk for smokers. This device may be launched in the Philippines by the first half of 2020, and we'll discuss this with Dave Gomez, the Corporate Communications Manager of Philip Morris Fortune Tobacco Corporation. Dave joins us now via Skype. Hi Dave, how are you doing?
Good evening, Tony. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm doing well, Tony. Thank you.
Well, you know, it's interesting because maybe about just about a year ago, I think, we had one of the Philip Morris International executives, Mark Firestone, come to the Future Perfect studio to talk to us about the IQOS and how this could possibly help smokers, switch to a safer alternative or a reduced risk alternative. But now that there's all of this hullabaloo about vaping and the dangers of vaping, do people have to be worried about IQOS also not being safe?
Well, before I answer your question, Tony, I believe that it is important to note at this point that there are 16 million Filipino adult smokers today. A number of them who are concerned over their health want to quit. The problem is the current cold turkey quit rate is a very low 4%. But the good news is, as you pointed out, is for those who do not quit, there are now scientifically substantiated products that are much better alternatives to smoking. As Vishal pointed out, there are several international, independent, credible institutions who have released findings that these products, known as e-cigarettes and heated tobacco products like our IQOS, contain as much as 90 to 95% less of the toxins than in combustible cigarettes. So I believe regulating these products and not a ban is the way to go. And if I may ask the question, Tony, is it legally, ethically, and morally right to deprive these 16 million Filipino smokers access and information to these products that have been proven by science to be much better options than cigarettes? Or should we therefore just ban or regulate this product? I trust in the collective wisdom of our Congress, Tony, and the Executive Department to find the correct answers to these questions.
Now, at the time when we were talking or discussing this with Mark Firestone, there were really no tangible plans yet by Philip Morris International or Philip Morris Fortune Tobacco to bring the IQOS device into the Philippines. But just last month, I think your company president, Dennis Gorkon, announced that it would be introduced in the Philippines by the first half of 2020. Now, so in the run-up to its possible debut in the Philippines, did Philip Morris actually consult with the government and the Department of Health to also convince them that this device is actually less hazardous or reduced risk compared to conventional tobacco and maybe even vape?
Yes, let me just clarify, Tony, that our President, Dennis, announced that we have the intention to commercialize IQOS in the Philippines in the first half of next year.
Yeah.
As it is currently defined under the law, the Tobacco Regulation Act of 2003, the heat sticks in the tobacco heating device is defined under the definition of cigarettes, tobacco rolled in paper intended to be heated or burned. So under our Philippine law, it is defined as a cigarette. Now, to put it in context to the announcement of the President was referring to a ban on the importation and use of e-cigarettes. We believe that the heat sticks of tobacco may not be covered since it is already covered by the definition of a cigarette under the Tobacco Regulation Act. But having said that, we still believe that whether it's a heated tobacco product or an e-cigarette, there should be regulations in place, not a ban. Regulations to cover the manufacture and use of these products. There should be minimum age in place for the sale and purchase of these products, and standards should be put in place to ensure quality of these electronic devices to prevent incidents like those exploding devices that we read in the media. No?
Well, I guess maybe just to look at the history of why Philip Morris developed the IQOS was also because of the growing popularity of vaping and how this is already supplanting the use of tobacco and then making people switch away from conventional cigarettes. But in this sense, IQOS, as you said, still uses rolled tobacco, but because of the technology behind it, does not produce the same harmful or carcinogenic byproducts as burning tobacco.
That's correct, Tony. When we talk of vapor products, there are essentially two types. No, both are heat not burn platform, and one of them is liquid nicotine in liquid form that is heated to release an aerosol or vapor. Another one is actual tobacco, our product, IQOS. It heats tobacco and releases an aerosol or a vapor. Both of them not emitting smoke, no? And as we know, when we light anything up on fire, we release a chemical factory, and in cigarette smoke, there are more than 6,000 chemical compounds that are released, and these are the bad stuff that get you sick, Tony.
And in terms of vaping, the recent study that was just published by the University College London, funded by the Cancer Research UK, also saying that vaping products can actually be effective in helping smokers, at least in England, tens of thousands of smokers to quit the habit. In this sense, IQOS is also competing with vaping products as or is it competing with vaping products as a smoking cessation device? Because in this sense, you're still smoking, aren't you, if you're using IQOS?
No, Tony, let me clarify that you're not smoking. You are not lighting anything up on fire. There is no combustion, and therefore there is no smoke. No, if I may point out, IQOS is now commercially available in 48 countries around the world. The United States being the latest. No, and in the United States, before we were able to market the product there, the U.S. FDA, after going through millions of our research and studies, authorized the sale and marketing of IQOS in the United States because, quote, it is appropriate for the protection of public health.
And now here's the question that people also were asking themselves after President Duterte made that sudden decision to ban the use of vaping in public, and also maybe the importation of the juices that are used in vape products. The suspicion was, and indulge me in this, Dave, is that big tobacco businesses actually helped to make that decision happen. That they were behind the decision to actually ban vape because it would compete with heat not burn tobacco products.
Absolutely not, Tony. We all know that our president is a very independent person, and tobacco companies are the least likely to influence his decision, knowing that he's very much a staunch anti-tobacco advocate. No. But I'd like to point out, Tony, that according to the Department of Health, today there are now more than 1 million Filipino vapors or users of e-cigarettes. No, if we ban these products, we risk a good number of them going back to smoking. No, in such case, we will only worsen the smoking situation in the Philippines, which I believe is not the intention of the president.
Yeah, and do you actually believe the findings, at least by our own local health authorities, that vaping has been the cause of lung injuries related to vaping?
I believe the Department of Health has clarified that report, Tony, that there is one incident in Central Visayas. They were saying a 16-year-old who is a victim of a vaping-related lung injury, but the findings is not yet conclusive. According to the Department of Health, they are conducting several more tests on supposed patient zero of this outbreak, and the test findings, the test results will not be available in a few more weeks. No, so they have not concluded. Let me clarify that there is no conclusion that the incident involving the 16-year-old teenager is a vaping-related lung injury. No?
Yeah. All right. Well, Dave, I'd like to thank you for actually giving us the time to join us on this episode of Future Perfect, and of course we'll await what Philip Morris Fortune Tobacco Corporation will do in the first half of 2020 if in case your company does push through and plans to introduce the heated tobacco device called the IQOS to the Philippine market. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you very much, Tony. Thank you for this opportunity. Good evening.
And that's our episode for this week. You can catch parts of the show on iwat.ph and on tfc.tv. You can also reach us via our Facebook account, ANC Future Perfect, and on Twitter at ANC_FP. I'm Tony Velasquez. Join me again next week when we examine the present and look ahead to the future perfect of Philippine and global tech.